Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Chicago Cubs on a brand new computer. So drop me a like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment for the new computer. We love a new computer. I had to get one. The battery on my old laptop was starting to expand, and I don't feel like burning my house down. So, in fact, while I'm sitting here, you guys are going to listen to me unplug the old computer that's sitting right next to my new computer because I had to transfer my Out of the Park 24 saves so that I could continue with the Cubs and the White Sox, and that's where we are here. So it is July 1st, and we're going to do the July episode here of Out of the Park Baseball 24 with your Chicago Cubs. So, yeah, let's do some baseball. So, it's been like a week since I've played, and honestly, I don't even remember what we were talking about last time. I think I wanted a new pitch. I think I wanted another starter, right? I think that's what we had established. I need a new starter. And then was I looking for anything offensively? I think I'm always looking for something offensively. We picked up Aaron Sabato last episode as a left-handed hitting power bat. I think we wanted a DH. No, we don't want a DH. We're pretty set at DH with Garcia. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think we wanted a new pitcher. Like, that's something I was pretty sure about. So let's look at the trade block here before we kind of go any further. So I remember there were a couple of names, right? I know Musgrove was on there. Only making $10 million. That's a potential option, but I think they would want a lot for him. Paul Skeens. Now 28 years old. That's a possibility with the 60. I mean, he's just a couple years removed from 176 innings. He was really bad last year with Cleveland. Probably wouldn't cost much to get him, but that's 70 fastball, 60 slider, 68. That's intriguing. It really is, especially if we can't get someone like Musgrove, because I believe the demand, he has a no-trade clause. Okay. Is it Poochie? Is it Pookie? I mean, Skeens is probably a better option. Let's talk to Cleveland. See if we can pick up that pitcher right here, right now, or at least a pitcher. We might readdress it once we get through the draft, but who am I willing to give up? Let's try that. All right. So we'll sim ahead a few days. We'll get up to the draft. We'll do the draft. We'll do the deadline, et cetera, et cetera. So we're off today. And then we got San Francisco coming to town. Come on. There we go. All right, we signed a new bench coach. That's something I did during the last offseason, or the last in between the last save and now. As I again, it's been like 5 days since I've played, so I don't really remember. But we brought in a new bench coach. Almost if we give you one of our best players, which I'm not going to do. So I'll give you Lozano, and there's got to be some minor leaguer that would kind of tweak your interest. Joe Dixon, 12th round pick, but he's a kind of a tool bag. We'll try it. See if that changes it at all. All right, we got the Giants, and I'm playing on a smaller computer these days. I went from a 17-inch down to a 15-inch, but I got a better graphics card, better processor, et cetera, et cetera. So, and I'm actually going to start using, and I haven't set it up yet. Eventually, I bought a monitor to go along, and for me, this is a big deal, guys. Like, this is all common sense to most people in their, in their 30s and 20s and younger. But for me, this is a big deal. So I bought a monitor. I'm going to hook my laptop up to the monitor, and that's where I'll play my games and do my editing up here in my office. Yeah, so we're going to sim ahead a day. We've got Contreras on the hill today against San Francisco. I think we skip Eater in the rotation where we can. That doesn't really change it at all. That's fine. We can we'll continue to tweak it. So we win this game 6-3. Gutowski with his 24th home run. Again, I mean, that average up to 207, but if he hits, 220 with 50 home runs, like, I don't care. Like, it's fine, right? And Garcia 2 hits, so he's starting to pick it up as well. So I wonder if, here's an idea. Let's see if this changes it at all. What if I gave you Danny McCracken? Because I could then call up... Let's change this. I could then call up Carter Smith. Where is he? Is he in AA? No, is he? Oh, he's right there. I'm going to call up Carter Smith to be our backup infielder, which I'm fine with. So let's try that. Let's see if that... I hate to use the phrase because I always use it, but moves the needle at all with, what if we pull back on retention? Trying to see how far back I can pull back on it. All right, so 35%. Let's try that. So I think we skip Eater in the rotation this time. We'll go Phipps right back up to Burns, I think. We have a 5-game lead on the Cardinals. We lose 8-6. All right, so we need to go highest rested, so that puts us back up to Burns. Did we get another? Almost, we did. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll wait because I'm not willing to give up one of those. I mean, although Skeens, and his contract is up. He hasn't been particularly good this year, but I like the ratings. The movement's not terrific, but 55 stuff, 65 control, and 3+ pitches and good stamina. I mean, it feels like a good deal. But you're not getting one of my best players or one of my best prospects for a rental reliever for, intents and purposes. Would I give up Ernie Wendt? I don't think I would. Not for a rental. He's 20. He's pitching an A ball, pitching poorly in A. I mean, let's try it. If we can get Skeens for, that. Because you got to, those are the moves you got to make, right? When you're in contention. So we lose back-to-back games to San Francisco. This one we lose with Corbin Burns on the mound, which isn't great. He's been ecstatic with our progress. Nakamura, we are going to stick with Isoroku until he retires. So Alec Burleson. We have him in AAA. Ooh. Wow. I didn't realize he was that good. I gotta shut off the audio here. I didn't realize he was that good. He wasn't particularly good last year. Well, he was bad for Atlanta last year. What if we do that now? I would be okay with that. Let's try it like that. All right, so we lost 2 out of 3 to San Francisco. We're 3.5 up on St. Louis. We got Milwaukee coming to town now. See how this series goes against the Brewers. A 1-0 win. Yeah, all right, so we can make it. We can make it work. So we get an RBI from Corona. Santana goes 5 shutout. Vinicio, that ERA down under 1 again. All right, so 23-year-old Luis Pineda, sure. So Kurt Lozano, who is a sidearm, 23-year-old reliever. He might be okay down the road, but because he's a sidearmer, he'll never be anything more than a back of the bullpen guy. McCracken is replaceable right now. He was fine for us for a couple of years. Really bad with the bat this season, and again replaceable in the infield. And then Alec Burleson, who we signed as a minor league free agent to give us some depth, and in return we'll get Paul Skeens. So we will complete that trade. And that means we call up Smith. He becomes our backup middle infielder. I think Sabato is our backup third baseman. Carter Smith. In fact, I think Carter Smith will be our defensive sub at second for Mikey Romero, because he's not the best defensive player in the world. And then pitching-wise, Strotman's been bad. Eater's been bad. Phipps has been better, but I think it's going to be Charbel Gonzalez. So Gonzalez goes down. Skeens comes up. Let's turn this into the 40-man. And we'll move Skeens into the rotation. Yeah, so he's a 50 stuff. The movement, not great, but we'll see how he does. If we have to move Eater back into the rotation. If this ends up being a bust of a deal, I don't particularly care. We didn't give up a ton. So, all right, let's keep going. I got a smaller keyboard. That's the other thing. My finger placement is all wrong, so I keep hitting the wrong keys. So we lose again. So we've lost 3 out of 5 starting off this episode. Look to take the series. We went 11-4 there. Offense picks it up in the second half of the game. Mikey Romero still without a home run this year. Power is non-existent for Romero. He had 11 home runs a year ago. Torres' average is down about 40 points this season compared to last year. He's still on pace for almost 6 WAR, though, so can't really complain. Garcia 2 hits. Gutowski 2 hits. 2 and 3 for Campbell. Hall 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Yanni Hernandez 245 batting average, 356 on base. Yeah, I mean, I would rather have. I mean, I was hoping he'd give us a line similar to this, where there was a little bit more slugging to go along with the on base percentage, but nothing doing. So a bat is something I think we're going to be looking at as well. Let me delete all these emails. So a bat is something we're going to be looking for as well. But that we may wait until after Sean Burke. Wow. Okay, what's it going to take to land a Sean Burke? I would be happy to do this. 3+ pitches, good stamina, good stuff, good movement. He's a ground ball pitcher. Yeah, 100%. Let's submit that deal. Didn't expect to see that, but when you see he's 30, so he's not young, but arbitration eligible, sure. And then offensively, Shoji's good, but that's more money than we can really afford. Colton Cowser looks okay. Yeah, I mean, there's some bats here. $21 million for O'Neal Cruz. Yandy's at 17. He's only at 11. I mean, that's not really any better than what we're putting out there right now. So, Brian Reynolds, no. Pasquantino's making $25 million. I like Shoji. But they would need to retain. Oh, they're not even paying him anything. That's interesting. All right. Let's try. So Seacrest looks like he's getting a little better. Rather not trade him. Let's start Gallardo and Nate Britt. And let's see what we see. See what we see there. All right, so game 1 at San Diego. Padres half game out of the wild card. And we win 3-2. So we get a couple of almosts. Oh, wow. We're going to be able to close both of these deals. That's elite. All right, let's look at this box score first. Campbell, 2 hits. Yanni Hernandez, 1 hit, 2 RBIs. Phipps goes 4 2/3. Cool. All right, so let's look at these emails. So first one is Eric Wendt for Sean Burke. Gallardo, Ben Meager. He's a 24. Yeah, Ben Meager, that's fine. I mean, he's good defensively, but... So Ernie Wendt, 20-year-old pitching prospect. I don't know if he's ever going to develop. I mean, if he does, he'll be a back of the bullpen guy, ground ball pitcher, good stamina. And in return, we'll get Sean Burke, who's arbitration eligible. Not a bad ARB number. Looks like a decent pitcher, actually. Fastball, yeah, I mean, 3 really good pitches. So we'll go ahead and complete that deal. And then we will take a look at this one with Seattle. So you want 25-year-old Albert Belliard. Cool. So Juan Gallardo, 21-year-old, low work ethic, middling, I guess you could say. He looks okay. Nate Britt, who is a good defensive outfielder, but he's been stuck in rookie ball for 3 years. And Albert Belliard in exchange for Masamoto Shoji, who we will immediately make our starting first baseman. We have a player. It's a player option. It's a player option. And he's not hitting at all. I didn't realize it was a player option. If it was a team option, I would have taken it. I don't think we do this deal. I don't think we do this deal with the player option. Team option, yes. So Skeens went 7 innings. He didn't pitch badly in his first start, honestly. Take 7 innings, 4 runs. So I think we'll just leave. Oh, we get Nunez back in 3 days, too. We are going to have a decision to make here, as we've added quite a bit to our pitching staff. Can Strotman go to the minors? He can. Okay, that's good. So we'll call Burke up. We'll use him as a... I'm going to leave Skeens in the rotation, and we'll put him as a middle reliever, use more often, long reliever. And we'll see how the ratings... See how he does as a reliever, and we'll see how Skeens does. And if Skeens is bad as a starter, we can swap Burke in. I'm good with that. Let's get through the draft, and then we'll see about adding a bat. I didn't think I was going to add a second pitcher, but too good to pass up the opportunity. We win again at 3-2. 2 hits and an RBI for Romero and Campbell. Corona had 3 hits. Burns is 8-5. Game 3 at San Diego. It's an 8-6 win, so we've won 3 straight over the Padres. We moved to 20 games over 500. Sabato, 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Katowski drives in a run. Hernandez with 2 hits. Hall with 2 hits. Santana's 11-3. Vinicio gives up another run. Not good. All right, it's the 11th. We'll sim the day. And we sweep San Diego in the 4-game series. And now we have the draft. Carter Smith with his first big league home run. He's hitting the ball pretty well to get things started. 3 for 9. And he's a really good defensive infielder. So 4th round pick. That one's working out for us. Torres with his 4th home run. Sabato hitting 370 since we traded for him. That'll work for me. Skeens gets the win. There we go. 6 1/3, 2 earned runs. I will take that. And it's time for the draft. Let's save real quick. I was typing a message into Discord. All right, let's get into the first-year player draft. We're picking 32nd. We'll just sim right ahead to the 32nd pick. Wow. Okay. there's some talent in this draft. The batters first. I think we have our first overall pick, guys. Prince Etienne. Good contact. Gap power's okay, but good defensively. A ton of speed. Who does OSA think we should take? Yeah, the pitcher. Not a surprise. Oh, man. Do we have a comp pick? We do. Oh, good. So we have the 32nd pick and 33rd and the 35th pick. So we might get both of them. I think ooh. Let's look at the mock draft. Which one is scheduled to go higher? Are either of them up here yet? Martin. They have us taking bowling. That's the way it was supposed to go from the beginning. ATN going there. Ooh. Ooh. Extreme ground ball. He's 18 years old. And he's already pretty well. I think we take bowling. I think we take bowling and hope that ATN is there with our comp pick. I mean, you hate to draft based off need, right? But I feel like getting a potential elite starting pitcher. All right. Kevin the Warding Bowling is going to be our top pick. And we'll do a pick at a time until we get to our next pick. So they took Amari Stiggers. Then they took John the Missing Link Gross. It's now our pick, and Prince ATN is still there. We get them both. That is an elite 1-2 punch at the top of the draft. It's our pick again. Luis Quintanilla. Probably a third baseman with those ratings. Wow, this is a great draft, man. Alex Wellner. Good bat, not great defensively. At least great at the top of the draft. I don't know what it looks like once we get through this, initial. Oh my gosh. Look at this guy, Danny Razzo. I mean, you guys know how I feel about drafting high school players, but sometimes you gotta kind of take that chance, right? When they're this good. So Frank Hess, oh my gosh. Yeah, OSA doesn't like him as much, and that changeup probably doesn't develop, although he does have the high work ethic. Wally Eddings, he's not great. Mike Ellers, meh, he looks okay. All right, so I think it's going to be a bat here in the third round. So we got Jorge Esparza, high loyalty, high work ethic, can play center field with those ratings. I think it was that second baseman that I liked. Danny Razzo, not great defensively. I mean, it's passable defensively, but that bat is potentially special. Yeah, that bat is potentially special. And then Quintanilla was the... You know what? I think we go Quintanilla because of that defense at third base. And if Razzo's there with our next pick, we'll take him. And he is. All right, cool. All right, let's keep going. Gabe Sweeney looks okay. He's a corner outfielder with that defense. Probably left fielder, honestly. John Brown, the low work ethic scares me off a bit. We're either of those pitchers still left? Yeah, it looks like all the young pitchers are gone now. That's fine. Who do they think we should take? Keon Josiah. Meh. Not particularly. Greg McKnight. Out of Portsmouth. It's about 15 minutes from where I grew up. Doesn't really have a position, though. Doesn't really have a position defensively. Matthew Sagan. Again, doesn't really have a position. It might be Gabe Sweeney. You know, OSA thinks he's got a little bit more power, a little bit more contact. What do we have for money? Like, that's something I should consider here that I haven't even thought. We should have plenty given our money for extensions, but let's make sure. Yeah, I mean, we only have a $10 million draft budget, but we should have plenty of money for to sign some of these players. So I'm not terribly worried about it. Yeah, especially since ATN's only asking for 1.3, so we'll save a bunch of money there too. All right. Let's look at individual pitch potential. You got any knuckleballers? No knuckleballers. What about circle change? Oh, we're looking at batters, not pitchers. Still no knuckleballers. Circle change. Eric Smith. Nope. Fastballs. We got Jeremy Perosi. Wow. I'm going to take... the changeup's only a 20. If the changeup was like a 25, then it probably develops. And if you get TCR with the control, all of a sudden he becomes an animal. Dwayne Cost. El Ingles. The English is his nickname. Good stuff. Good stuff. Andy Nelson. Okay. Andy Nelson looks okay. Fastball, sinker, splitter. Ground ball pitcher, 6'2". Yeah, Andy Nelson will work. Again, an 18-year-old high school pitcher. Not crazy about drafting the high school pitchers, but I don't mind doing it later in the draft. I mean, not that we're in the 5th round right now, so we're not super late in the draft, but Birch, high work ethic. Ooh, Chris Davis. No, I was hoping one of these would be, if one of these is a 50, then maybe you can get away with it. But with 2 of those at a potential of 30 or less, you would need a lot of help from TCR in order to make that work. Jeff Nels. Yep. Fastball, potential elite sink slider and changeup. That works for me. Let's look at defensive ratings now. Jeremy Kinney's got 70 catcher ability and low work ethic. Bubba Connors looks okay. The 65 catcher ability, I can get behind that. Just checking these other catchers that have 65 to make sure they're not better. Yeah, we'll take Bubba Connors. At least he doesn't have the low work ethic. Outfield range, Jeff Kaiser. High work ethic, 21-year-old, sure. Mike Lester. Nope. 65. Paru Abu Siam, sure. Infield range, 7. Oh, man, if he could hit at all. Mari Fee looks pretty good as a 17-year-old. Low work ethic's a little concerning, but, what are you going to do? All these players are the same. It's if they were a little bit more... Jim Moody. Let's take Jim Moody instead because of the high work ethic. Then Fee was gone, so that's not terrific, but what are you going to do? Batting potential. Let's look at all players. See if there's a pitcher in here someplace that we missed. John Brown. I think we'll take John Brown here, 18-year-old, 6'6", 220 pound or 200 pound 18-year-old. Second baseman with no real position, but that bat looks pretty good. Jorge Verdugo. Wellner's still there, huh? All right, well, we'll take Wellner, I guess. Get him for free. Why not, right? Domingo Fuentes. Sure, the 60 catcher ability is good enough. And I think we finish up here and we'll let the AI do the rest. Let's just look at pitchers real quick. Batting potential, 4 pitchers. Anything? No. All right. Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's auto-complete the draft. Let the AI do the last handful of rounds. Let's negotiate. Let's sign all of... Oh, wow, we don't have a lot of money. Okay, so the first one we need to sign is here. So we have $3 million left to spend. All right. Well, ATN we can offer slot. Quintanilla we can offer slot. So we need to offer him. Him. And him. And we should be able to now offer the other 2 players slot. And... Oh, I don't have enough. I don't have enough to sign Verdugo. Okay, that's fine. So we'll sign Nelson. We will sign Quintanilla. And we will sign ATN. All right. That's fine. We don't need to sign our 18th round pick. I will survive. All right. We're going to sim ahead. Week and a half. Oh, Nunez is ready to come back too. Let's just rehab assignment for the time being. I don't want to leave him down there too long. See how our pitching staff as it's constituted kind of does here over the next week. We lose 4-0. Got Jackson Phipps pitching today. We lose 10-6. We got Burns pitching today, and we win 8-1. We're only 2.5 up on St. Louis. So in this one, Campbell 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Casey Schmidt 3 hits. Katowski's average back down under 200. Burns gets the win. Campbell, Hall, Garcia all homer. Skeens hasn't pitched badly. Well, he's only made 2 starts. It looks like they skipped him. Yeah, they did because of how I had my rotation set up. All right. Burke was fine in his outing. Eater. Yeah, I mean, there's not really anybody for me to send down, right? I mean, that's the reality of it, is that my pitching staff has been that good. All-Star game. Who made it for the Cubs? Santana, 11-3, 267. Nunez and Vinicio, so we had 3 pitchers. And then offensively, we just had Torres. What about the All-Star Prospects game? Necker. And that's it. All right, so it looks like we signed a couple of our players. Cool. Let's see. Whom? So Wellner and Razzo, we can disable the ice. I think it looks like it's our top picks still that I haven't signed. How's Kearns doing this season? He's not pitching well. Let him finish this season in rookie ball. Same thing with Grant. All right. Trade block. Batters. Jason Dominguez, $16 million from the Yankees. Again, if Shoji's contract wasn't a team option, or if it wasn't a player option, Bregman's only making $5 million. The good thing is that now that we're through the draft, we have all the players that we signed last season that we can use as bait. He's got to get called up, or his development will stall, I assume. Bring back Bregman. Not hitting all that well this year, but, I mean, the ratings are still there. I have this thing about bringing players back that performed for us, right? How many times did I trade for Goldie? I think twice. All right, so it looks like we're able to make this deal without any trouble. Alexis Padilla. Sure, you want Alexis Padilla? Cool. So Juan Gallardo, minor leaguer, 21-year-old, bad control, low work ethic. Nate Britt, minor leaguer. This is basically the same deal that we offered for that first baseman from Seattle, Shoji. And we'll bring back Alex Bregman. Fans like that. And that will be an offensive upgrade. So I think that means Yanni is... Can we trade him? I mean, any prospect is better than nothing, right? Jaron Purify. We traded him to Miami, and now we'll get him back from Miami. He's on a minor league contract. That works for me. Let's go ahead and complete the deal. Some ahead a day. 27-year-old Brian Altuve. Fine. All right. Designated for assignment, Bregman, and get Alex right back into the lineup. Batting him second. Actually, probably bat him leadoff against lefties. And then here, I think we can kind of push everybody down one. Something like that. Romero, Bregman, Torres. We'll keep an eye on our pitching staff here, and because we got to get Nunez back up sooner rather than later. So I'm not sure what the answer is there, because Lauer hasn't been terrible. Can he go to the minors? He can't. I don't think either of these players can go to the minors. Yeah. So if we want to call up Nunez, somebody who is pitching well is going to have to go to the minor leagues. Someone who's pitching really well, frankly, is going to have to go to the minor leagues. All right, let's just keep going here a little bit. All right, so we got Los Angeles. Did we sign any more of our draft picks? We did. We signed them both. Cool. Etienne will start in high A ball. Nope. Wrong guy. Etienne will start in high A ball. Disable. Disable. Yeah, I mean, he looks so good. I mean, how could I not, right? How could I not take a chance on someone like this? All right, here we go. We got the Dodgers followed by the Twins. I think maybe once we get through the Twins series, we'll take a look at our pitching staff again. We win 4-3. 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth. You like to see that. Mikey Romero, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Casey Schmidt, he does not want to leave the team, but, I mean, that's not unreasonable. How's that third baseman that we traded for doing? The averages, I mean, he's not really hitting all that well. Offensively, he's been... Why are you not playing him at third base? I want him at third base every single day. It's that simple. Third base. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm just afraid you sign Schmidt to a $20 million deal, and all of a sudden the average drops to 240, and he's good for 1.5 WAR, and that's not worth it. So we'll see how it goes here over the course of the rest of the season. I still got plenty of time to re-sign him if I want to. We lose 3-0. We got Phipps pitching today. We win 2 out of 3. Mikey Romero, 2 hits. Katowski, 3 hits. Schmidt, 2 hits. Garcia, 2 hits. RJ has a couple of hits. Phipps goes 6 1/3. You like to see that. 3 games now against the Twins at home. Only a 3.5 game lead. We win 1-0. Was that Skeens? Against his, well, yeah, against his former team. It was. He goes 8 shutout. Doesn't get the win. Vinicio does, but Skeens has been really good since we traded for him. Cool. Another game against the Twins. Another win. This time 7-6. Schmidt 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. I mean, he's just hitting, right? He's just hitting. Burris 2 hits and an RBI. Campbell and Torres each with 2 hits. Schmidt with his 9th. Corbin Burns gets hit hard, but Lauer, Burke, Fulton do their thing, and Burke 4 1/3 so far. No runs. Final game of the series against the Twins is another 7-6 win, and we do finally pick up a game on St. Louis. They scored 4 in the 9th. Vinicio with his worst outing of the season, but Flores comes back and does it. Yeah, Eater in the bullpen's been good, I think. Yeah, well, he's only made 2 outings out of the bullpen, but Katowski with his 26th, average up to 211, so he is on pace for another 3 WAR season, another 44 home run year. So that is well worth it. All right. So, pitching. I mean, like, I feel really bad sending Mike Burrows down to the minor leagues. Can I even send him down? No, I can't. Phipps has been my worst starter. I don't want to send him to the minors because then I just put Eater back in the rotation where he's been awful. Do we go with 14 men for the time being? Maybe we go with maybe that's what we do. Maybe we go with a 14-man pitching staff here for the time being. But who gets the boot down to the minors? Is it Corona? That's not what I wanted to do. I think that's what we do. I think we go to Corona. I think we send Corona down to the minors for the time being. Nunez can come back in as the closer. And high leverage guy. Because we've got Sabato who can play first base. So I'm not worried about that. He can also be our backup DH in reality. Hasn't hit any home runs yet, but he's getting on base a ton. And it's only for a month, right? Because in a month we call Corona back up. All right, let's get through Texas and see if there are any more deals we want to make, or if we just want to call it an episode. So let's keep going. All right, first game at Texas is a 1-0 loss. Phipps going today against Billy Sullivan. There's a 6-0 win. So Phipps has turned it on as of late. Bregman at 346 since we picked him up. Yep, 9 for 26. Doing his thing. Garcia, couple hits, couple RBIs. Casey Schmidt with his 10th home run. Phipps 5 2/3. The demand is still the same. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's the right move to make. I mean, we might bring Bregman back, honestly, at that rate. Have him play first base for us. His ratings haven't really dropped at all. I mean, if we could sign Bregman to like a 2-year deal at $8 million or something, I think that's well worth it. Another game at Texas, and back-to-back shutouts over the Rangers. Mikey Romero hits his first home run of the season. No, he doesn't. Well, he hit his first home run of the season previously, but he goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. Garcia 2 for 4 with an RBI. Skeens another 7 1/3 shutout innings. A 1.88 ERA for Paul Skeens since we picked him up. We have a 7-game lead all of a sudden over St. Louis. I guess let's just take a quick look at the block. I wouldn't mind Jason Dominguez, but I think we're good with the deals we made, honestly. Picked up a couple of pitchers, picked up Skeens, picked up Burke, who hasn't had to pitch much, honestly, because our starting pitching's been so good. Picked up Skeens, picked up Burke, picked up Alex Bregman, and didn't give up any of our top prospects. So I think we're just going to sim through the rest. 3 straight shutouts by the Cubs. No hitter. This was a no-hitter for Corbin Burnes. Let's go. An error. Did he walk anybody? He walked 2. Error made by Campbell. But Corbin Burnes with the no-hitter striking out 6. Exclamation point on what has turned into a very good July for the Cubs. 3 straight shutouts. We take on San Francisco again. And a 9-2 victory. We've allowed 2 runs in our last 4 games. Alex Bregman 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. R.J. Mayer with a 4-hit game, scoring 3 runs. Real Muto 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Gutowski with his 27th. Santana doesn't pitch well. Lauer and Flores. He didn't pitch terribly. He just threw a lot of pitches because he walked 5. And the final game of the month, and we'll look at stats and stuff, and then we'll call it an episode. So another win, 3-2. The Angels want to send us Thad Ward. So Medellin actually got better since we sent him down. He probably comes back up at roster expansion too. Reject. We win 3-2. Score a run in the 9th. Garcia, 3 for 4. He's going to end up at 25-ish, 25 to 30 home runs, a little bit light. And again, a low WAR because he's strictly a DH, but it's fine. Contreras 7 innings, 2 hit ball, and then our bullpen does what our bullpen does. So let's sim to August, and we'll call it an episode. Nunez, shoulder tendonitis. I think we don't take any chances. He goes right back on the DL. How's Necker doing? 808 OPS. Yeah, I mean, he's probably our starting first baseman next year. Corona. Do we go Corona? Or do we go Medellin? Medellin's the better bat. That's the reality of it. Corona's a bit... I think we'll go Corona because he's a bit better defensively. But we're going to lean on Bregman and Corona here down the stretch. All right, let's look at our batting stats. Led by Mike Campbell, one of the best deals we've made, I think, here so far. He's been good for... He's on pace for 7 WAR this season, but he's been on pace... I mean, just so good defensively. Just a great pickup for us. Michael Torres, our first-round pick a couple of years ago, led the National League in hitting last year. Average is down a little bit, but still on pace for 4.5 WAR. I'll take it. Casey Schmidt just continues to rack up WAR. Probably the single most important player to this playthrough has been Casey Schmidt. He's on pace for almost another 4-win season. He's been so good for us. Gutowski, average is light, but again, still putting up an 800 OPS, on pace for like 44 home runs. Mikey Romero's taken a bit of a step backwards this season. I mean, has he though? Has he? I mean, he's been healthy, which has been good. But yeah, the contact has dipped a little bit. The gap power has dipped a little bit. And he's not a great second baseman. So that may be something we have to start thinking about. Junior Garcia on pace for 29 home runs, 43 doubles. I'll take that. Bregman, since coming back, 293, 356, 463. He's been fine. Drew Burris' rookie campaign, replacing PCA in the outfield. Bat hasn't been great, but defensively he's been just fine. RJ doing RJ things. Danny Corona's hitting pretty well this year. Brad Hall, the replacement for Drew Romo, was hitting like Drew Romo. But we probably rushed him a bit, given that he was in Double-A last season. The ratings are fine. I have no problem with his offensive ratings, given his catcher ability, so no issues there. Sabato, no home runs, but getting on base, 426 on base percentage so far. Carter Smith hasn't played a whole lot, and then Real Muto is, the ratings have started to tank, but we'll just use him as our backup catcher. Pitching, we are just so good from a pitching perspective. Burns, we just re-signed him to that long-term contract, and if we can get, if his age 36 season is good, and then he drops in his age 30s, like I'm okay, because ultimately it's only a 2-year deal at that point, right? Because we just won't pitch him, and then then the option doesn't vest. So if we can just get him through next season before the ratings drop, I'll be fine with it. I don't mind eating a year. It's okay. Our pitching staff has been just electric. Our top 3 pitchers, Burns, Santana, and Contreras, have been excellent. Benicio has been Cy Young worthy, frankly. Skeens, since we picked him up, has only given us a 1.88 ERA and a 2.21 ERA plus in 4 starts. So, things look really, really good. So, we ended the month 18-7. It's our best month of the year. We are up to 6th in batting average, up to 5th in runs scored. Our pitching staff is still the best in baseball. Defensive efficiency, we're at the top. Yeah, we're a good team. So I will sim ahead, and we're 9 games up on St. Louis. So I will sim ahead to middle of September, like I normally do. And next episode, I will come back, and we will do the end of the regular season and hopefully another championship for the Chicago Cubs. So that's going to do it here, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good one. Bye.